channel. You will comment down below. Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Captain Sexy Pants, and today I was going to sit down and record some YouTube videos for you guys to check out. Unfortunately, there is a giant cat laying on my keyboard currently. So I'm going to go ahead and get these recorded, and if the cat happens to do anything funny, I'm leaving it in, just because that's who I am. Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Captain Sexy Pants. We're going to get back into them Funko Pop reveals today. I was feeling kind of down for about the last week. I'm sorry I didn't upload much, but we're back on track, and hopefully this week there's going to be 3 videos coming out. Alright, so we're going to jump right into the first one. Today we have one of my most favorite musical acts, one of my most favorite singers of all time. Today we're going to be talking about Alice Cooper. So we're going to show the box off a little bit. It's a nice little picture of the top there. This is the straight jacket Alice Cooper. This Alice Cooper is the Hot Topic exclusive. There's another one where it's Alice in a top hat. However, I don't have that one. And so I built this little stand here with some more Funko Pops on it, so y'all can check it out while I talk about Alice Cooper for a couple of minutes. Alice Cooper's been doing music for about 50 years and has released 20, 25 albums over the span of those 50 years. Some of them are absolute classics. Some of them, not so much. So we're just going to talk mainly about the classics today. My favorite 3 Alice Cooper albums of all time are Love It to Death, which was his 3rd studio album, which is where he finally started using Alice Cooper as his name, because originally he was just Vince in a band called Alice Cooper. But after the band started getting popular, he decided to change his name to Alice Cooper because everybody kept calling him Alice Cooper. But his name is Vince, and he's from Detroit. Currently lives in Phoenix, for those of you that care. So like I said, the 3 albums that you really, really need to check out are Love It to Death, $1 Billion Babies, which is my personal favorite, and Welcome to My Nightmare. Welcome to My Nightmare is probably the song that everybody and their mother has heard. That and School's Out. My favorite Alice Cooper songs on Love It to Death is I'm 18. Why I'm 18 is an important song. Here's your Did You Know for this video. Johnny Rotten, the singer for the Sex Pistols, auditioned in a shop in King's Row in London called Sex. It was run by Malcolm McLaurin and Vivienne Westwood. And he sang along to the jukebox to I'm 18 by Alice Cooper. So for those of you who are into that kind of stuff, if it wasn't for Alice Cooper, there'd be no punk rock. We're going to go into what else there wouldn't be if there wasn't for Alice Cooper here in a few minutes. But Johnny Rotten's favorite singer of all time is Alice Cooper. And when you hear him, you go, oh shit, it makes perfect sense. And then on $1 Billion Babies, which was the album that came out after Love It to Death. My favorite track on that album is, of course, well, $1 Billion Babies. And then on Welcome to My Nightmare, which is just a rock classic. It's great. It's a little weird, and it's rock and roll, but there's a lot of really interesting things going on. It's one of those albums that you really kind of have to listen to all the way from beginning to end. And my favorite track on that album is a song called Cold Ethel. Yeah, it's called Cold Ethel, and it's just a romping rock and roll good time, and I just absolutely love it. So for all you big Marilyn Manson fans, you realize that Alice Cooper was doing that stuff in the 70s. Alice Cooper was the father of shock rock, I guess, but he really didn't see it that way. He just wanted to create a stage persona as like the ultimate bad guy. He was the villain. More villain than Marty Skrull could ever hope to be. He wore dress, he wore makeup, and people in the late 60s and in the early 70s just did not know what to do about good old Alice. I bought this pop, of course, at Hot Topic because it says so right there on the box. Alice Cooper's also been in about 15 different movies. The one movie that I can remember seeing is called Monster Dog. And when you watch it, you can tell he's obviously struggling with alcohol and drug addiction at the time, because it's just kind of well, it's not any good. So look at the clips on YouTube and you see how messed up it is. Now, Alice Cooper, as the person himself, has overcome a insanely bad drug addiction problem and an insanely bad alcohol problem, and it almost killed him. Recently, over the last, I don't know, 10 or so years, he's came out as being a born-again Christian, and without going into what I think about religion and everything, it's like, man, if that's what keeps you sober and keeps you making good music, keep doing it. I got nothing bad to say about it. I was listening to Alice Cooper in 7th and 8th grade. I think the first ever album that I bought with my own money was at Odyssey Tapes and Records, and it was Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare. I don't care for much of the other stuff, but those 3 albums, Love It to Death, $1 Billion Babies, and Welcome to My Nightmare, are definite records that you should definitely check out. So once again, here's this wonderful Alice Cooper Funko Pop, and I thank you all for your subscriptions. If you want to tell me what your favorite Alice Cooper song is, put it down in the comments down below, and we'll see if we can get a little Alice Cooper appreciation, because I think currently he's way underrated, and I think everybody who listens to, there'd be no Rob Zombie, there'd be no Marilyn Manson, there'd be no My Chemical Romance, there'd be none of that stuff if it wasn't for Alice Cooper. So show the man some respect. This is Captain Sexy Pants, and in the words of my favorite YouTuber of all time, Mr. Sunnyside, a peace.